What's up, Dunwoody? Welcome back to the podcast all about Dunwoody, Georgia. My name is Matt Weber. Show is brought to you by Dr. Brett Friedman with Village Orthodontics and Mark Galvin from Discover Dunwoody. And I've got Mark here today to, I don't know, what do you want to talk about today, Mark?
You know, and I like that you just, always give me, just a blank slate. You are totally willing to let me just go where I want to go.
I do have notes. We have talked about this. But...
Yeah, there's the problem, not a problem. The beauty is every time you and I sit and talk, there's so much to talk about that that I got to narrow it down. Otherwise, you and I could be here for.
Well, that's why you're beneficial here, because you've named 4 things that I've never heard of.
Well,
so tell us about them.
One of them was Oaxaca, right? Right before we went live, we were talking about Oaxaca. That's a new restaurant over at Georgetown that is supposed to open. We're waiting to hear more info on it. They're out there. It's that out parcel. That's right beside. Exactly. So more to come on that. I don't have a bunch of info on them. I kind of want to talk about some of the things that are going to happen in the next few weeks that are super big. So in case any of you were looking to, when you're at Target or at Cartier for that matter, and you're looking to buy a birthday gift, buy one for June the 12th, because are you on that side of me? Somebody's birthday is on June the 12th, and he'll be joining us for our world famous Rediscover Dunwoody Trolley tour. You're going to be our tour guide. So have you studied up for this? I mean,
no, I'm slightly nervous, to be honest with you.
There's a little pressure, right? You're going to have to know what's going on, I
know Dunwoody, but standing in front of 30, 40 people, it's stressful.
Well, the good news is it's not 30, it's 25.
Okay.
Literally, it's a trolley. So it's not as many people, but we have our hoteliers. And the whole reason we do this is we started this because we wanted our frontline hotel staff to learn more about Dunwoody. So if a visitor comes in, they say, hey, I'm looking for a great Italian market. Things say, hey, I've been to East 48th Street. You should go check this out. That's what our focus is with this. But we found that maybe we get 10 hoteliers. Well, if we have 10 hoteliers on it, we've got 15 extra slots. So we've opened it up where people can come and join us on the trolley tour. Your tour is sold out. Just telling you, we already people are clamoring at the doors or outside the office.
Yeah, you obviously didn't announce who was hosting it.
Like, oh my goodness, it's his birthday, and Matt Weber's going to be the tour guide. So anyway, no, all joking aside, I'm excited you're doing this. You are one of the local people that folks know about, and it's good for you to get to know face to face a lot of these folks. So thank you, honestly, for doing that. That's great. I have been a tour guide on the trolley. It's a lot of fun. You'll have a great time.
They can't walk out on me. They can't go anywhere. So,
well, that's true. Once they're on it, they're on
for that period of time.
But it is an adult only tour, right? Why? Because we go and get great food and there's cocktails. So all the restaurants that we go to, I shouldn't say all of them, some of them like to serve up a taste of their favorite cocktail. So it's great fun. We had great reviews. The Atlanta Journal-Constitution came and joined us for one, and they had a great time. So this is a fun feature that we're offering.
Awesome.
There's something else coming up. Everybody knows about this. The 4th of July parade is coming up on the 4th of July. It is so much fun. We will have our trolley, the same trolley that you'll be doing your tour on, will be in the 4th of July parade, and we're giving away Dunwoody stickers. We do this every year. So if you don't have a Dunwoody sticker,
I need one for my mug.
You totally need one for your mug.
Mm-hmm.
They work really well.
I know. I saw yours. I was jealous of yours.
Right?
It's like the exact same thing.
It is. They're absolutely terrific. And then let me reach up here and grab this. All right. This is kind of a big deal. We're giving away Dunwoody dinosaurs this year on the trolley tour. So not the trolley tour, on the 4th of July. So we'll be handing these out and handing out Dunwoody stickers. So you definitely want to look for us. And I will tell you this too. You want to probably be earlier in the parade. It is unbelievable how we run out of, we have 2,000 of these dinosaurs. We're going to burn through them like that. Man. So anyway, we're excited to be in the 4th of July parade. What a great thing. I love that our community does this. Thank you for your direction, your involvement in that. You've been involved in the 4th of July parade for how long now?
I don't know, 5 years ish, something like that.
Yeah. That's such a great thing.
I think I was supposed to be in charge or start to take over in 2020, and that didn't happen. So it was a nice transitional year. I made Pam Comet stick around for an additional year after that.
you got to break that year.
Yeah.
So there is something else I want to mention, and all of these things are on our website. And where can people find this, Matt? There's a way that you got a trick, right? For them to find our events page.
If you're asking me, I'm going to give them my link.
Do it. Yeah.
And that is whatsupdunwoody.com/events, because that's how I can track how many links that I send to my buddy Mark here, which has been a lot, right?
Yes, it has been a lot.
I was pretty proud of myself over the last
You're doing really well. Well, I'm not surprised. We knew that you were very engaged with your audience. But if you go there, you can see a lot of things, all the things that are going on at Dunwoody. If you are doing something at Dunwoody, you're holding an event and it's open to the public, let us know. You can go to our website, submit an event, and we will put it on our website. We'd love to let people know.
That's something that everybody should be doing. All the nonprofits, 100%. Anybody that's hosting an event, you got to go there because you actually do get a lot of people to that site.
2 things. Number one, we are charged, if you will, with being the source of information about Dunwoody, from restaurants to shopping to hotels. Let's start with the hotels. Hotels are the most important thing to us. So hotels, shopping, entertainment, retail. I already said that by shopping. You get the gist. Go there. We've listed all. Plus, we're listing all the events that are going on in Dunwoody that are submitted to us. And I'm really proud of it. We have almost 60 events that are listed for the month of May. So there's a lot of things in there. Here's an example, one of many. Louisiana Bistro, great restaurant over in the State Farm building. Every Friday night, they offer jazz. If you have not been to Louisiana Bistro, go. The food is absolutely fantastic. And I cannot emphasize enough how great the food is. And you get to enjoy live jazz. And it's a beautiful restaurant, great spot. The parking is a little interesting. Make sure you look for the underground parking that's very close to the front door on Hammond, the right side as you see the restaurant, go to the right side, pull in there. It's covered, which is great. Covered parking. It's free parking for 2 hours. Louisiana Bistro. Listen to the website, but also go check that out. Friday nights they have live jazz, which I just love live music.
Yeah, I was just telling my wife about that last night because we're at High Street and it's across the street from High Street. And my 9-year-old was trying to read bistro, and it was difficult.
Was she? How were they? Was it Bistrokes?
Yeah.
Welcome to all of the graduates from LSU. They all know what that means, right? Go Tigers.
English language does not understand.
It's absolutely good. So, hey, I'm going to show some things on I'm going to share a screen. You okay if I do that? I'm going to hit some of these restaurants that are coming in. I want to share.
Once we do that, can you show me where High Street is
I can do that. Yeah.
The next phases are going to be too, though, at some point?
So what we're showing, and do you do a podcast version of this where it's.
Yeah, just go.
There's no video?
There's more people watching at this point.
Okay.
Video is taking over. So.
All right, cool.
You do your thing.
So I'll do a little. I'll narrate a little bit this. If you go to Google Maps, you can see this. So I'm looking at. We're looking at the perimeter. Here's 400. This is 285. A little bit of perspective. Right in the middle of this, Perimeter Mall, which is the nucleus. Right, it's the center of Perimeter Center. And on the left, hey, did you know that you can see the border of Dunwoody and
I see
Sandy
it right
Springs?
now. Before you said it,
it is. So this green line right here on the left side, look due left, if you will, which is clearly at the west, is the border between Dunwoody and Sandy Springs, which is officially DeKalb County to Fulton County.
It's the counties, okay.
Yeah, and this green line, there is nothing there. Look at this. As I zoom in, there is nothing actually physically there except
interesting.
It's just you don't want to build a business across county line. It just becomes too difficult to keep track of taxes and blah, blah. So that green line, you can always see it. There's the difference between Dunwoody and Sandy Springs. And State Farm, this is one of my favorite, is as you zoom in on the State Farm buildings, here are the 3 buildings, and State Farm bends.
Is that why they curved it?
They bend to make sure they stay in DeKalb County. It's absolutely It's hilarious in a way.
Wild.
Hey, this little green space, not quite green on Google Maps. This is slated for new development too. Hotel, residential, a little bit of office. Lots of interesting developments that are coming along. But let's talk about High Street. Here is High Street. You can see it. Wrong way, Mark. This way. Here we go. You can see it here. Perimeter Mall to the right, directly west, is where you have High Street. Phase 1 is up here. You've got these kind of like, we'll call these quadrants, these 4 buildings. The original office building that's up here is part of High Street now. This is Phase 1. It's a lot more done than it appears on this map. Phase 2 is the
before
area
you go
here.
further, so those apartments there, or whatever they're condos, apartments, I guess, is that on the inside? Are they hollow? Is that where like the pool
you know
is?
what? So you don't see this from the road, do you? Inside these apartment buildings are courtyards. There's pools for the residents to take advantage of. You can't get in there unless you've got a key. I've never seen that.
How expensive are those? Are they really expensive?
Are
they filled up?
Expensive.
Well, I don't know. Are they filled up? Or are people?
Occupancy's great.
Yeah,
they've done a great job. High Street has said that the apartments have done very well. A lot of people have moved in, so they've got to
be nice, which I would assume is expensive. But as long as they're occupied, that's great. That's all we really want.
I think apartments, and I'm from the days when I was renting apartments. I think apartments are all expensive all over the entire city, right?
Yeah,
it's amazing how it's just. The whole city is very desirable. And I'm saying the whole city, Atlanta, very desirable spot to be.
Well, these are the last approved apartments in the city of Dunwoody because this mess it was like 2006, I want to say, is when they were approved before the city even existed. And so, Dunwoody hasn't approved any apartments since then, but now we're getting them 20 years later.
Exactly. So let's talk a little bit about what's going on in High Street. This is, I wanted to mention this. So this is Phase 1. This is Phase 2. This is the old Atlanta Journal-Constitution buildings. They are still there. If you drive up Perimeter Center Parkway, you'll see those buildings there. They're going to rip those down. As I understand, they're going to rip them down. And the middle of High Street will run straight down here, and you'll have buildings on either side. And then the last phase
is going to be the size of the Avalon almost.
It's supposed to be bigger than Avalon, allegedly.
Really?
Right? They've dubbed that. They've said it's supposed to be bigger.
I've always thought of it as a tiny Avalon, but if it's going all the way down there, I mean, that's triple the size.
Yeah, you'll be able to come down Hammond and turn right and go into High Street, in theory.
Wow. That's really cool.
Great, exciting things. Let's talk about High Street. Let's come up here where things are built, and let's go through what's going to happen next. So Rosetta Bakery is going in there. And this place, I love bakeries. This is one of my my weaknesses. I'm not supposed to. Well, I should say, breads are certainly they add a few pounds, but the breads here, the sweets, the cakes, so many cool things at Rosetta Bakery. This is coming to High Street, so we're excited about that. Also, been talking about Hampton Social for a long, long time. At its core, Hampton Social is a restaurant, but it is a very Instagrammable restaurant. So,
hence the social.
Exactly. The imagery on where some of their other locations are going to have lots of places for people going in there, enjoying some oysters, and then you'll have a whole wall behind you that says "Rosé all day," which is part of their moniker. This is going to be a great addition. They are about 80% through on their build out at High Street, so we're excited that they're coming in. The other thing that's coming into the middle is a CRÚ Food and Wine Bar. CRÚ, CRU with the, what's that? A tilde over the U? Is that what that's called? These folks are open. There's one of these are over at the Battery right now. Focus on wine with some light treats, not necessarily a restaurant, but they have definitely food that you can grab if you want to run by there and get a light meal and enjoy some terrific wine. Focus on wine. They're going to come into High Street. We're also...
It says Mother's Day on there. They're not open yet, though? That's maybe their other store?
This is the other locations in Atlanta.
Okay.
So this is not their first spot.
Gotcha.
The other restaurant that's coming is Varuni Napoli. Classic with that. I'm getting hungry already looking at those hoagies there. This restaurant is a recent announcement of an addition that's coming into High Street. I look forward to this. Really great pizzas and great food. That is, we don't have an opening date on that, but looking forward to that coming in. And then on the
I
retail,
love a good brick oven pizza.
Exactly. Just looking at it, that pizza looks just delicious.
Yeah.
On the retail side, I think I'm saying this right. Alo Yoga or Alo Yoga. Do you know? All right.
When you're talking retail, you lost me.
Yeah, that's right. Well, if you're looking at the imagery online, you get a sense.
Retail.
Yeah, it's athletic wear, both for women and for men.
I'm sure if it's anything like Lululemon, my wife will be there.
It is. It looks very similar. So we're excited that they're coming in as well. And then if we jump over to Campus 244, you said you went to Campus 244 recently.
Yeah,
You drove by there?
We drove through yesterday. It's beautiful.
What did you like about it?
I love all the art that's on there, all the flowers. That was something that caught my wife's eye. It's smaller than I was expecting, but I think that was just the road that we were going through. You know, it's kind of a tight fit there.
I think the size, quote unquote, being smaller is a great description as compared to High Street.
Yeah, no, I mean, and that's where we came from. We were at Velvet Taco last night for Cinco de Mayo.
Okay, good.
Probably going to date this episode. I love Velvet Taco.
I love Velvet Taco too. That place is awesome. As size goes, Campus 244 is a green space between the brand new hotel, the Element Hotel, and the corporate office building, which used to be the Gold Kist headquarters. There's a new restaurant there, CT Taqueria, which is open. If you have not tried that, you must. It is.
You keep talking about it. Other people are talking about it. That's why we actually drove by, just to see where it was. So to make this a little easier, Campus 244 is what you see from the highway. It's like the pretty, next time or when you've driven past down the highway, you're like, oh, that's a cool building. And, you know, they took out some of the trees and it looks totally different, but it's beautiful. I mean, they've done a really good job with it.
It is great. I pulled it up on the map here. You can see, here's the Marriott. We have all been driving by that Marriott for a gazillion years. We know that hotel. Just to the side of it is where Campus 244 is. You cannot get to Campus 244 except by this road, Campus Way,
I know.
which is
the Marriott probably loves it. They've been stuck back there for a while.
That's right. They're getting a few more people are driving by.
Right.
And Google Maps hasn't got a new photo here, but the Element Hotel is here on the left side. This is a green space here. CT Cantina and Taqueria is on the other side. It is
and there's a nice valet.
Terrific. Great valet. So two things. Number one is valet is here. So you don't have to worry about parking. If you want to park, there is covered parking here, 2-hour free parking. Okay. So you can park on your own if you want. They even have charging stations that are easy to find if you're an electric car driver. In the center of all this is an open spot that another restaurant is going to go in, and I'm going to show a picture here of what Campus 244 actually looks like. There we go.
Yeah.
This space doesn't quite look like this. The renderings have changed a little bit, but this space on the right side here is where Stäge is going. On the far side here is where CT Taqueria has come in, and it's this green space is just terrific. You can go out there.
That's the part you can see.
Take your kids, play on the green space while you're maybe waiting for your reservation or after dinner. There is CT Taqueria has its own pastry shop, so you can get some pastries after dinner and go out and enjoy that. Absolutely terrific. This is the front side is where valet parking will pick up your car, and on the right side is the Element Hotel. Definitely go check this out, especially to go see CT Taqueria, but Stäge, Stage.
I'm still going to call it Stage, probably.
Yeah, Stage. It's spelled just like Stage. They're coming in over there at Campus 244, so we're super excited about that. The last thing I want to mention as new openings is Stone Age Korean Barbecue is joining the Ashford Place development. Let me get back to another image here. Is joining the Ashford Place development. This is the spot that's right there beside City Hall, just south of City Hall, or to the left of it if you're looking
where the barbecue
at City
places
Hall.
were.
You know what? What was there? Memphis
the
Barbecue
Wild
used
Wing.
to be there.
Wild Wing was there too.
Was it really? I did.
The Wild Wing was on the other side of the shopping center.
And Chili's. The Chili's is also going to be Desi's place. The Desi district actually is what it's going to be called. These are coming. The Stone Age Korean Steakhouse, as it's called, is going to be open earlier. So you can look for that to be open sooner than later. A lot of things happening. There's always more and more things going on that we love to share. If, as I mentioned before, if you wanted to learn about what's happening in Dunwoody, we are specific about Dunwoody. Go check out our website, discoverdunwoody.com. Everything that is new is listed there. Check out our blogs. We are always updating our blogs with new information. Here's an example. If you're looking at something that's happening over a holiday weekend, we will always write a blog about these are things going on over the holiday weekend that you want to check out. Maybe there's specials that restaurants are offering, or maybe a special menu. We'll always highlight those things in our blogs. Social media.
We actually used that last night because we were talking about Mexican restaurants. And if you go to whatsupdunwoody.com/food, it'll take you to the restaurant page, and you can actually sort by types of food. You can sort by areas. I mean, it's cool. And I know Dunwoody pretty well, and I never used your website really. And until we became friends, like I never went there. I just didn't think of that. I thought of you guys as the tourism people, and I didn't think of you as the putting on for Dunwoody people. And I've changed. Like, I realized how easy it is just to send people to your website and say, this is the best place you can go.
Right. It is our job.
Sorry, that was like a backhanded compliment, but you're doing a great job.
Yeah, that's good. No, I appreciate that. We do not charge a fee. This is what's interesting. In fact, we went to the Dunwoody Library not long ago and sat down with them. We wanted to know about what they were doing. And they said, well, we were hesitant to take this appointment because we have no money.
Yeah.
It reminded me that people believe we should be charging for our service, or think we do charge for our service. This is a free service. It's free insofar as we're funded through the hotel tax. Every hotel room in any of our 10 hotels in Dunwoody have an 8% occupancy tax, and we get 3.5% of that 8%. And that we are officially called a destination marketing organization. So our charge is promote our hotels, promote our restaurants, promote the entertainment, promote the retail, promote the recreational areas here in Dunwoody. So it is free to you, Dunwoody, and actually everybody. And we lean into this. So we have a staff of 8 people here. We're constantly trying to find the new things. And if there's a new restaurant, they're coming to us and saying, hey, we're opening. We want you to know about us. We are the tip of the spear when it comes to anything that is going on. Or, here's a good example. The Crown Plaza Ravinia has a great buffet that they're offering for Mom's Day. If this came out after Mom's Day, sorry for that. But they want us to know about it because they know that we're reaching more people. Those types of information, those types of events are the things that we're promoting. And it's one of the great services of being the city of Dunwoody that we're able to offer.
Yeah. And I mean, that money is specifically for that. So
the city cannot use that money by state law for anything else except for funding a destination marketing organization. So that 8%, 3.5% goes to the hotels, or goes to us to promote the destination. And then the rest of the tax, and it's carved up, and I'm not going to get into too much minutia, but it's basically a portion of the rest of the tax is earmarked for the destination focus. So the city has to use a portion of that money to make the destination more attractive, infrastructure, if you will. And then the other part of that goes to the general fund, and the city can do anything with it. As a matter of fact,
infrastructure. Can we talk about signs for a second?
Signs? What signs are you talking about? No, I'm kidding. all those signs that are all over your page on Facebook. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Those signs are being paid through a portion of the hotel tax. That is
I just want to
going
get
to the
that
city, redirected to cover that. So I've read a few folks that are upset that our tax dollars are going to cover those signs. Those signs are being covered with the hotel tax. So there's nobody's actually having to pay for them out of Dunwoody.
And I know you don't want to talk about this, but I think the signs look great. And I think that I never realized where the borders were in our city, except for, I guess, Google Maps. I could have checked that out. But It is nice to, when you enter the city, people know they're in Dunwoody. And I think the signs are great. I feel like they've gotten a lot of hate, and I feel like it's like a lot of it's misguided hate where they don't even know where the money's coming from anyway, or when it was voted on. People think that it was voted on over the last year. That's been when we started the podcast. I remember talking to Katie about that years and years ago. I mean, that was 7 years ago. Wow, that makes it feel old. That we were talking about this back then.
Right. This was something that Discover Dunwoody went to the city and said, this is something we need. We need to have a way to show that the gateway in and out of the city of Dunwoody is where they are. And it's great branding. The Dunwoody brand is a great brand. And building on that, letting people know and using the way that those signs are set up is great for marketers. From a marketing perspective, I love that when somebody from Sandy Springs is coming into Dunwoody, there is, and this is true, there's an emotional connection to the brand of Dunwoody. There's an emotional connection to the brand of Sandy Springs, right? To Atlanta, to Buckhead. We want people to know they're in, because once they come into Dunwoody, this is a great community. How does it look? How does it feel? It all complements that. And that's why those markers are great. Even the one at Georgetown, which, because it's brand new, it's right in front of the gas station. We need the greenery to get green behind that sign, and it will make that gateway entrance much more attractive. Once the landscaping grows up behind it, it'll be much more attractive. But we're going to have one by Perimeter Mall. They're trying to figure out where to put it. It's supposed to have a swing, right? They're supposed to have a swing in one of the O's in the word Dunwoody, so you get a sense of how big this thing's supposed to be. That the location that is not quite done.
Well, it's needed there though, because I know plenty of people from, I grew up in Gwinnett, and plenty of people from that area still come to Perimeter Mall, or more than ever, probably still come to Perimeter Mall to eat there. And they don't know that it's Dunwoody. They think Perimeter Mall, the perimeter area. I'm like, that's the city that I'm always talking about, right? And they're like, oh, that's Dunwoody?
Exactly.
But nice big sign with a
that's why it's so
Instagrammable swinging O. Sounds pretty cool to me.
That's right, a swinging O. We like that. So anyway, it is important from a branding perspective that that your product is this, right? That's why in the back of every single car, you've got a brand on it. Every car maker wants you to know that's their car. Yeah. Same thing. We want people to know that when they come into Dunwoody, they're actually physically in Dunwoody, because I'll give you an example. On the Peachtree Dunwoody side, which is Sandy Springs, most people think they're still in Dunwoody. Yeah. So it's very difficult to know, because our cities are so complementary where we sit right beside each other. I mean, even the MARTA station, right? You have the Dunwoody MARTA station, and the MARTA takes barely a left and goes right into Sandy Springs, and that's the Sandy Springs station. A lot of people say, why is that Sandy Springs station? It should be part of the MARTA. It should be part of Dunwoody, because people don't know that the cities are so close. Yeah. That signage will help give the demarcation of, okay.
I know you didn't want to talk about this, but I just feel like somebody needs to stand up for these signs, because they weren't as expensive as everybody thinks they are, and it wasn't wasted money. It was money that was set aside for this, and it was voted on years ago. So there, I had to get that off my chest. Sorry about that.
Glad you brought it up. It's good for branding.
Yes,
absolutely.
I agree.
So social media, discoverdunwoody.com. Or excuse me, Discover Dunwoody is our handle everywhere on social. And the last thing is you're going to come join us for an interview. You're on the calendar for the Dunwoody Dialogues. We have a similar thing, and we are not competing with Matt in any way. Right. What we do a lot of, our mission is to have folks come in and talk to us. so that we can grow that Discover Dunwoody brand. In fact, we animate our logo at the beginning of our podcast because our logo is a D with dots, and as people migrating from Atlanta coming up to Dunwoody, so we want people to know more about the things that we offer, which is why we love this relationship with you. Not enough people knew what we do at Discover Dunwoody, and that gives us another chance. So you'll be on our show. We'll be able to hear all the things. I just want everybody to know. Anything that you've wanted to know about Matt, you send me a question. I'll make sure I ask him.
And I'll be sure to answer it truthfully.
So where did you grow up? Where were you officially born? Where's home?
Well, when I was 5, I was in Brookwood High School area in Gwinnett.
So were you born in
Lawrenceville?
Were you from Atlanta?
I was born in Cincinnati. Did we already start the interview? What's happening?
Yeah, this is good. So this is what we do on the Dunwoody Dialogues. And why did you come to Atlanta?
We immediately moved to Georgia, and so I've lived in Georgia my whole life.
So you call yourself a native?
Yeah. Maybe not native Dunwoody, but I've also been here for now 16, 17 years. So,
all right.
I don't know at what point you can call yourself a Dunwoodian.
Well, so back to Cincinnati. You were born, they put you in the basket, and they moved to Atlanta.
Pretty much.
Were they running from creditors?
And we lived in the Redan district for a little while. And then we got out of the Redan district. And
you're not going to laugh at my joke. Was that not good?
My parents have money. They have a little bit of money. There wasn't that many creditors.
They were running from someone. They were running to something, right?
Yes.
Well, we're glad you're here, quite frankly. And you've been great for Dunwoody. The things that just everybody that is on Facebook may not know that you run the 2 most important Facebook pages for Dunwoody.
I kind of keep it that way, though. Like I'll post from What's Up Dunwoody into those groups, but I don't post for myself a whole lot. And I don't stand up for the signs and that kind of stuff. Like I want to make it about Dunwoody. And I know that I get a lot of hate from that, but I want to make it about Dunwoody. I want to make it for the people of Dunwoody. And I would love to talk about this on the Dunwoody Dialogues because I kick people out of that group all the time. And I feel like I want the group that I would want to be in. And that is, I don't want to hear about red and blue politics. I don't want to hear spam from all these different people and different groups. Hey, you should buy my something.
Good.
And I feel like that group, because Facebook gives me props all the time. Facebook in general is like, this is a great group. Like there's a lot of engagement. There's, people, there's a lot of negativity, but more positivity than most groups. I like to think. Maybe I'm wrong.
It is one of the Facebook groups I have to watch. I have to keep an eye on because the information. No, I mean it. And you know what? The mayor, is very engaged.
It's great for me because like somebody posted into the group about First Baptist Church having a restaurant inside of it all of a sudden, like a coffee bar. I would have never known that. Like, and that's a cool way to get. It's not spam. It's not the church putting this out like, hey, come visit us. It's just a person that's like, hey, you should check this out. And I'm sure that they've gotten a lot of traction from it.
Yeah, it's great. I think it's wise. I love that you're doing it. It was a great idea. Thank you for putting those together and for what you do. I mean, this is great. You're giving us a forum to reach more people in Dunwoody. We need the citizens of Dunwoody to know that Discover Dunwoody is here to serve them, and there's no cost, and it's nonpartisan, so to speak. We don't pick winners and losers. We're going to list every single restaurant in Dunwoody and let you know what's happening. That's our
and it's a good. I mean, we do have like a mutual thing here where I need you on the show to tell us about all of these different restaurants I just wrote down because where else are they going to hear it? If I don't know the things, like most of the listeners probably don't know it either.
Well, and if you do go to other sites, and there are some other listings, there's actually, I'm not sure if you've seen it. There's a spam organization that says we've got the best site in Dunwoody, which totally cracks me up. Have you seen this?
Is that Dunwoody Dish?
I think.
Yeah, I saw that this morning.
They are, but they're paying to get ads in front of the citizens of Dunwoody, and they're stealing our content.
Yeah, and they put a picture of David's restaurant in the background too.
Right.
I'm not sure. Be all these different rules broken.
Yeah, we have actually reported to Facebook that they're stealing our content. You can't steal our content.
Yeah. They're
stealing our content to put on their page, and they're saying they got the best content in Dunwoody. I'll guarantee you they do not. they are paid. The people that are, if they're on there, they're paying to be on there generally.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's paying to be on our site. We're going to list everybody in Dunwoody, all the restaurants in Dunwoody. We are not judging. We do not post on our site. This one restaurant is better than that restaurant.
Right.
You can do that on your feed. But if you want to learn what's happening, we're going to tell you this is happening. These are the restaurants. If you want to know what's new, we're going to talk about that. If you want to hear about the current spots, like Breadwinner, by the way, best cookies in Dunwoody. Breadwinner is one of our one of the best places to go for lunch in Dunwoody. Yeah. Those sorts of things are the things that we lean into and want everybody to know. We want to be helpful. And if you know of something that is not on our site, I can't imagine this, but if it does come up that you guys think we should, go info@discoverdunwoody.com, info@discoverdunwoody.com. Send us an email. We will make sure it's added to our website.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, it's a great website. I've been working on this custom GPT thing where I pull information from Dunwoody, and I showed you about Woody.
Yeah,
we're running a little long, so we're not going to get into this too much. But there are 2 websites in the city that have all of the information. City Hall's website and Discover Dunwoody, and I mean every bit of Dunwoody information I can get from those 2 sites.
Jennifer Betcher, Director of Communications for the City of Dunwoody, does a fantastic job. If you're not getting her email weekly, right, the city's email, DNews, make sure you go to, it's easy as this, go to the, dunwoodyga.gov, I believe is their website.
Mm-hmm. Sounds right.
And there's a pop-up. Don't ignore that pop-up. Sign up for the DNews. And they do a great job of sharing what's happening in Dunwoody as well. They're a good partner of ours.
Yeah, Kathy was on the website or on the podcast a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, they both do great work. She and Jennifer are fantastic people. You have we one time, maybe when you're in to interview with us, we'll talk about your new puppy dog.
Yeah, Woody's awesome.
I love that.
Okay, cool. Well, we'll talk soon. Thanks, Mark.
All right, man. We'll see you.